Hi, I'm Sue King, archivist at Morrison Reeves Library and the board of the Wayne County Historical Museum. I'm out here at Earlham Cemetery on a gorgeous, warm, sunny, beautiful colors kind of a day in October, which would be perfect for Tales from the Departed. Unfortunately, it's 2020 and nothing goes according to plan. We didn't want to let the centennial of women's suffrage go by completely unnoticed, so we are going to do the next best thing, a virtual Tales from the Departed. We know it's not the best, but under the circumstances, it's about all we can do. So I hope you enjoy these short little videos that we're going to post, and hopefully we'll be able to meet back here in the cemetery next year. Thanks. Hi, I'm Helen Vickroy Austin. I was born in Ohio, but I spent most of my childhood in Pennsylvania. In 1850, I married William Austin, and we moved to Richmond, Indiana, and I remained here for the rest of my life. One thing that can be said about me for my entire life is that I was a writer. Of course, I kept up a pretty good personal correspondence, but later in life I was a member of lots of organizations, and somehow I wound up being the recording secretary for many of them. One of the organizations that I was especially active in was the Wayne County and the Indiana Horticultural Societies. I wrote several articles for both of those publications. I was also a member of the Wayne County Historical Society, and one of the articles that I wrote for that body was actually published in one of the early editions of the Indiana Magazine of History back in 1905. But going back to my earlier life, I was a young woman, only 21 years old, and I attended Indiana's first Women's Rights Convention in October of 1851, right here in Wayne County, down in Dublin. I was so impressed with the women and the men who spoke there on those 2 days. They had such just incredible passion and eloquence for the crazy idea that women should have equal rights. Well, of course I joined that organization as well immediately. When the Civil War started, though, all women's rights activities stopped, and all of our energies were geared toward helping the Union cause. I was a member of the Ladies' Aid Circle. We were a part of the Indiana State Sanitary Commission. We raised money to provide food and medical supplies to Union hospitals. Now, in later years, when we had our Ladies' Aid Circle reunions, of course I was the recording secretary for that body as well. After the war, the new organization that started up was not the Women's Rights Organization, it was the Indiana Women's Suffrage Association, because that's what we wanted. We wanted to go further than just women's rights. We wanted the vote. Now, by that time, I was old enough to be a leader in the movement. I was on the executive committee for many, many years of the Indiana organization, and of course I worked closely with many of the women in that group, and even on a national level. One of the women that I worked closest with was Dr. Mary Thomas, who is a giant in the Indiana suffrage movement and well known in national circles as well. We worked as hard as we could, but the prize eluded us, and it fell to the next generation of fighters to gain the victory of the 19th Amendment. And in 1920, I was 90 years old, but I cast my first vote on November 2nd, 1920. Now, as far as I know, I am the only person who was present at that Dublin meeting in 1851. I'm the only person who lived to see the ratification of the 19th Amendment. So part of my emotion that day was elation at getting to vote, but also sadness when I thought of all of the thousands of women who dedicated their whole lives to earning the right to vote, but they did not get to see that day come. I died within the next year, but I did get to cast a vote.